Now, our next guests have forged connections and created space for many of Vancouver's creative circles. Yeah, Andrea and Robert Tucker, they founded a crafters market. It's called Got Craft. That happened about 15 years ago, and they're here today to tell us more about it. So welcome to you both. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having us.
How did Got Craft even get started, Robert?
It started, Andrea was into crochet, and it started with a Christmas present, which was a sewing machine, so she could move into sewing. And then you started to make things, and we attended a market, and we thought there might be something that might be more interesting to us at our age. And it started at the Western Front with that sewing machine, and it grew from there.
Okay, and how did it grow? How did you bring other people into that circle?
Well, basically, we put out a call at our local coffee shop with those little pull tabs because that was before social media, before Facebook and Instagram.
You use old-fashioned pull tabs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Okay.
And we tacked it on to the coffee shop that we always go to, and people started contacting us. They wanted to be part of it.
Right.
And we started with 20 vendors at the time.
At the Western Front on Main Street. And that was our first one in May of 2007.
Okay, so who are some of the people who are part of your group?
So we have an assortment of makers.
Yep.
We have people that do clothing. We have people at cards, paper products, arts, stationery, ceramics, food vendors, all those sorts of things like that.
Okay, and how would you describe that connection when everybody comes together, just that creativity flowing?
It's just such a community, and everyone kind of like knows each other, or they meet each other at different shows, and we just all come together, you know, twice a year, and it's almost like family.
It is.
Yeah, there's an energy. And we've been makers also, so we've done the markets, and
We've been on both sides.
Yeah, an excitement to going and setting up and selling, and an excitement when it ends, but it's fun. It's a fun way to work.
Well, it is, and I want to hear about what you've brought in. Andrea, why don't you tell me about some of these pieces of clothing you brought?
Yes, so Ogie is a new vendor to the spring market. She's a Black-owned, size-inclusive fashion brand, and she uses a lot of sustainable sustainable materials, such as like 100% cottons, recycled fabrics,
stretchy,
and dead stock fabrics as well. And she's really, what I really love about her is that she uses a lot of bold colors and bold patterns.
I'm glad I wore this top today, actually, because I'm kind of so is this the same
This
maker?
is a dress, yes, and it has pockets, which is always
that looks
a
comfy
bonus.
Yes. Fresh and easy, dress it up, dress it down.
And it can just mix and match with what you currently have in the wardrobe.
Right, and is this hers as well on the mannequin?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's pockets in
that
these
is really nice.
ones.
And
And you
that's
can
a two-piece set.
you can show a little bit of belly if you want. That's sort of in right now. And what about underneath the?
And this one is a top. So she does tops, jackets, pants.
And these are all one-offs. These are all one-offs.
Yes. So because she uses dead stock fabrics, once they're gone, she can't get any more materials.
Beautiful.
They're all limited run.
That is so much fun. And what are these little creatures here, Robert?
Joining us again for the first time this year is Gamer Gadgetry, and they focus a lot on tactile toys and 3D printing. So an example would be their dice roller.
Okay, wait a second. We got to get a close-up of this. It looks like a little castle.
Yep.
This is a dice roller. Check this out, everybody.
So for everyone who wants to play and has a friend that maybe isn't the best at rolling fairly, it guarantees that each and every time you're going to get a unique
rolled a
roll.
6.
I
You
know.
rolled a 6.
So
Just
for
like
your
that.
board games, all that sort of stuff, it gives you a chance to roll front. And this is 3D printed.
Love
They're
that.
Kelowna-based. They started in 2019.
And that's a two-piecer.
Yep.
Yes.
And they print here locally.
Isn't that fun? Because that's something you could just keep out. That's even a conversation piece.
Our
even
son
though
likes
you're
to
not-
roll marbles down it.
Right. Oh, of course.
very
Of
noisy.
course. You can. And what about these?
These are their tactile toys. So these are all 3D printed. They are single piece. And he works with designers and then does the printing locally in Kelowna. And they're very robust. Like you can twist that around your arm.
Okay.
You can
The
play it.
dragon is
This is
doing
not just
circles.
decoration to sit on your table. This is for kids. They've got the fun little things like the octopus.
But lots of adults will like that too.
Yes.
I mean, I
Nothing like having this sitting
playing
on
around
your
with
I'll
it,
pit my
too.
lizard against your
Yep.
octopus. How's that?
And then, you can do the battles. And they're, like I say, they're really robust. They're really fun. And so they're a new vendor for us. And they're joining us for the first time this year. And Started just before COVID, and then it slowed down with COVID. So they're really back up and ramping it up again, which
I
is a lot of
love
fun.
this kind of thing. Okay, now let's talk about bringing kids into it and introducing them to just being creative at a very young age. And your son is
Our
involved in
son
this
is
as
one of
well?
them.
Okay, what has he made, and what are some of the...
We have an area
Come on over
called the Kid-preneurs, and these are children that are making and selling. So not just creative, but also learning to make and sell. So our son Elliot, he is made by Elliot. He does the fabric buttons and the hand-drawn buttons there.
Okay, that would
so
be
that's
here.
his work here. So those are his hand-drawn buttons and his fabric buttons.
Aren't they
And he draws, and then we help him assemble and put them all together. He actually started when he was in kindergarten. So he started at the age of 5. At the age of 5, he didn't say much, but he could type your purchase into the Square
I'm not
terminal.
sure he said anything, but
And
yes.
then hand you the Square terminal to collect your money.
Right, so do
Yep.
kids get together and do this together, or is it just you make it separately and then everybody comes together when you have a
You
show?
make it at home.
Right.
And then they show up with their little setup, and usually we don't even know what they're going to bring. It's always a surprise for us, too.
Okay.
Yep, so they'll be up on the stage, about 10 of them.
Yes.
And this is a representation of the different things that we've had come through before. One of our friends was making skipping ropes.
Handmade skipping rope,
Yep.
isn't it? Super lightweight,
Yep.
too. Those are beautiful.
And then
Love that.
And they all range
candles.
between 7 and 14 years
Candles
old.
here, tassels, jewelry, all that kind of... What about the swag bags?
Yes.
Do you want to show off our? These are coveted. Ever since we started doing swag bags, and the
Right.
vendors provide tangible items.
Got
So
craft.
it's not full of business cards. Could be samples. Could be one-offs. Could be things that have minor errors to them.
Yes.
But all the vendors provide items, and we stuff these bags full. And this is a local designer, Whitney Liu. She
Yes.
did the design this year. And then Robbie Vigar Screen Printing. He printed them locally also. And we stuffed them full. So the first 50 each day
Yes.
line up starting at about 6 in the morning to get their hands on these. And we do
Right.
a different design each year.
Right.
And we actually
And you don't know
started-
what's inside. You just
don't
like,
know.
it's a blind
It's a
bidding? Do
blind
you
bidding.
bid, or
No, it's
a-
included with your entry fee if you're one
see.
of the first 50 paid people through the door.
Wow.
We actually started back in the day, we used to hand sew them.
I see.
With that sewing machine.
With the sewing
Those
machine.
are
We used to go to
great.
Dress-O and buy fabric and
And of
build
course,
our own bags.
these are going to the shopping, to
Yeah.
the
Oh, yes,
supermarket
yeah.
afterwards. Those are
Definitely.
super. So where and when can we have your wares displayed next?
The spring market takes place May 6th and 7th, so it's a Saturday and Sunday at the Croatian Cultural Center in East Vancouver,
May 6th and 7th.
yeah.
10 to 5.
Thank you so much for this
you.
preview. It's so nice to meet you. And let's get creative, everyone. Just gorgeous.